Hi friends, so today we are going to be making some meaty baked beans. These beans are so delicious and mouth-watering, and not only that, they have a savory and a sweetness to them. So let's jump right into this recipe. So you want to start off with some type of pork. I have ham chips here. You can use a fat back if you want, but any type of pork, even just ham will work. Another alternative is the Goya Ham Concentrate. But we are going to place our pork into our crock pot. Now, if you're making this on the stove, you'll just place it onto the stove. I have about 2 to 3 cups of dried pinto beans that have been rinsed. And we're going to make sure that our crock pot is on a high setting. If you're cooking this on the stove, you're going to put it on about a medium high. You want it to come to a bubble to actually cook this and then bring it down to a medium. I'd say probably about, if your stove goes from 1 to 10, I would say about a 6 or 7. Now I'm going to add enough water to cover the beans, and I want to show you what that looks like. So it's going to be a good amount because these beans are dried beans and they are going to soak up all this water. Now you did see me add a little bit of garlic powder, about a tablespoon. I do not add salt because salt makes the beans tough. I add that at the end. This is about an hour or two later that I'm showing you, and I want to show you how the beans have soaked up all of this water already. But they are not soft, and these beans are not done yet. And you can kind of look and see that they're not done. But I need to add a little bit of water. So you'll want to just check your beans periodically, whether you're cooking in a crock pot or on your stove, just to see if you need to add more water. Now here you see me add 3 cups of water. Now this is dependent on how much water you'll add. Just keep an eye on it throughout the cooking time just to see if you do need to add more water. You should not see the beans until closer to the 5-6 hour mark. So to make this a meaty baked bean, we're going to brown 1 pound of ground beef. Now we're going to kind of chop this up a little bit. We don't want it as finely ground as you would in a taco, but we do want a good bean to meat ratio. Now I know some people do not put ground beef or any kind of meat into their baked beans. I love it. If you don't like it, then you can omit this part. But I love the flavor and the texture of it. I usually make this for my holidays, cookouts. Ever since I started making it this way, I don't think I've ever gone back. And recently, there was a memorial for one of the deacons who passed away at my church. And I did not add the ground beef into the baked beans because I didn't, most people don't, some people don't eat them that way. And the whole time I kept telling my daughter, something's missing, something's missing, something's missing. And she was like, Mom, it's your ground beef that's missing. But anyways, so after you have browned your beef, you're going to remove that from a pan, add 2 tablespoons of butter, and then you're going to take about a half an onion diced until it's all the way cooked. And once it has browned and is translucent, you're going to add about a half a cup of tomato sauce and then let that cook for a moment. And then I like to add a little bit of Maggi sauce or Jugó sauce. And I will show you here what it is. And I just add a little bit of a sprinkle. So just the Maggi sauce. And I only add just a few shakes of it. I'm going to add some better than bouillon, the beef. About a tablespoon of that. Well, maybe that's a teaspoon, a heaping teaspoon. And I let that cook down a little bit. And then I'm going to add probably about 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Now, I actually ended up adding just a little bit more brown sugar, and this is up to your taste. Some people like really sweet beans, some people don't. So I recommend just start with a small amount and then see if you want to add it from there. And this is me adding the more of the brown sugar because I actually had to make some brown sugar, which, by the way, is super simple. All you need is just sugar and molasses, and you have yourself brown sugar. So we're going to cook this down, and as you can see, it's already starting to get rich, that kind of brownish rich color. Now it is time to add our beans, make sure that you taste your sauce to see if it's to your liking. Like I said, always add the small amounts. I give you just what I put. Add smaller amounts and then see if you like it. While I add my beans, if we have not met, my name is Jennifer Scott, and on this channel we do all things recipe, homemaking, gardening, and more. So be sure you hit subscribe and also hit that thumbs up button. That way you'll be able to let me know and YouTube that you liked it. I added about 2.5 to 3 cups of my pinto beans to my baked bean mixture. Now, this just depends. Sometimes it's hard to give you an exact amount because sometimes I add more, sometimes I add less, and it just depends on your home and what's best for you and your family. So make sure you look in the description for all the ingredients and tips and tricks. And like I said, when you're adding stuff, add the smallest amount first and then taste it and then keep adding until you get it to your taste and the way you and your family like it. So from here, once you get your beans mixed in, your baked beans are done. You can serve these as is, but to make official baked beans, we're going to place this into our oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. Just keep an eye on them, and once they are done, this is what they look like. I hope you give this a try because I love Bush's baked beans, and if I don't have time, that's what my go-to is. But if I do have time and I can make a wonderful home-cooked meal for my family, this is what I'm making. Let me know in the comments how you make your baked beans. And if you make this, I would love to hear how you make it and any tips and tricks that you have for me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.